this. So that's what they're going to try. They'll try and make you look like you are a disgruntled employee. You know, there was three things I was looking out for when this took place. You know, I was finding these forklifts. It was the public, my coworkers, and yes, even my employer. That's how serious this was. I mean, this was a losing situation for every one of us, for everybody involved. You know, and all this information was given to OSHA. So it had gotten to the point where a forklift came in from the convention center that I was supposed to get started because the technician at the convention center could not get it to start, simply to get the engine running. When this machine came in, the condition it came in was pretty bad, where the headlights were falling off. The radiator had fallen completely apart and was being held in with wire ties, plastic wire ties. It was packed solid, and it was clear it was not serviced in a long time. I asked them to take pictures of it. They refused. So it took quite a few weeks to get this thing figured out. There was several other technicians gave it a shot. Top guys in our company took a shot. Nobody could get it started. I figured it out, and it was literally a 25-cent piece. Like it said in the email, these machines were supposed to be turned around in a 1-week time. So we were way over schedule on this one. And they were in such a hurry to get it back up to the convention center that they actually glued the radiator together. Glued. In my entire career of working on anything, I've never glued a metal radiator together, let alone a piece of heavy equipment. They actually had me wedge a piece of wood on it and hold it together while the glue dried, while they shipped it back to the convention center. And all this was given to OSHA. And still, no justice. You know, it was at this point I decided to call OSHA. The company claimed that when the forklift was sent back that I had missed tape on the backup alarm. Now, they were in a rush to get this forklift back up there. This forklift sat in my bay for weeks. They said that there was blue painter's tape on it. They showed me a picture of it. This forklift body is yellow, the overhead guard is black, the backup arm is black, bright blue painter's tape on it. For the amount of time it sat in my bay, I could have never missed that. And even if I had, somebody else would have spotted it. It's mounted in clear, level eyesight. You can't miss it. I heard it loud and clear. The same kind of blue painter's tape that is used at that branch. So I started to get a little questioning about that. So now I called OSHA about it, and you know, you don't know what it takes to make that phone call. You know, it takes a lot. You know, because you know what's coming down the line. You know, you're doing the right thing. You know, in the back of your mind, but the frame of mind it puts you in is pretty hard. You know, I didn't want to lose my job. You know, it's a bad thing. Well, I called OSHA. In March of '09. To my disbelief, after I gave them all that information, they called my employer and had them conduct the investigation. I almost stopped breathing. I was so distraught. I decided to contact OSHA on 3 of '09, and you know, told them everything I was finding, read them the email. And there was more emails and documentation, and I read them all the stuff. I talked to a woman there, and you know, I asked her several times, "Am I protected?" She said yes. You can't imagine what it takes out of you to make that phone call, knowing what's coming down the line. And you know, I didn't want to lose my job. You know, I liked working there. We had a great bunch of guys there, and we joked and laughed a lot. And you know, it just this shouldn't be this way. Nobody should be put in these positions. To my total disbelief, OSHA contacted my employer to have them do the investigation. When I found this out, I almost stopped breathing. You know, I told OSHA, I said, that makes about as much sense as letting the Nazis investigate the Holocaust. I mean, what answer do you think you're going to get? We're guilty? I don't think so. And OSHA even said that they agree that it doesn't make much sense. And this comes into play later in this recording. So, shortly afterwards, the branch manager even pulled me aside in the yard and said, "Greg, you made the right call." He had to go up and investigate at the convention center. And said, "We found a hell of a lot more than what we told OSHA. They know they have a problem up there." Now, that doesn't do me any good. When 4 of 09, the day before I was terminated from the company, which was literally about 5 weeks after I contacted OSHA, I was told to inspect a large scissor lift, a 5-ton scissor lift. The manager said, "We have 4 in our yard." He said, "Just pick one out." And I did. The first one I found had a steering problem. I heard a banging sound, picked it up right away. Problem I'd never seen before. So I knew that wasn't right. I could see the whole cylinder was out. This lift will go 40 feet in the air and you can operate it. And so I immediately put that one aside, grabbed the next one. Same exact problem. Turns out all 4 had the identical problem. Problem I had never seen before. It was banging pretty good. I brought one up to the shop on the back of the yard and informed the manager, who was well aware of this problem. Apparently, it's a problem the manufacturer has a service bolt now on it. Checked everything possible to try and keep it back in what's called the retaining channel. The manufacturer puts out what's called an anti-rotation bracket. The reason I never saw this before, this problem, is because all the later models come with these brackets. And my branch manager had me and him call the manufacturer from his office. We troubleshot it together, we contacted the manufacturer together, we ordered all the parts together, he opened up all the work orders. The manager did. The manager ordered me to lock out all 4, which was common sense, because this was a serious problem. After I did all that, I ordered up the parts, got everything squared away, I locked out, put the lockout tags on all 4 machines. The branch manager turned around to me and said, "You know what? That machine's been like that for probably months. I'm going to release it." I said, "You got to be kidding me." He goes, No. He said, "If you want," he said, I said, "Look, Sonny, I don't want to be part of that." He said, "Well, if you want, make sure you write up a white copy, and this way it'll cover your ass if something happens." And I thought, oh my God. I thought, oh my God. This is a 5-ton machine. You know, it puts you in a frame of mind, you just don't know what to do. Unless you've been in this position, you don't know what to do. So I did it. And you just don't know. I mean, it's a horrible feeling. When I came in the next day, the machine went out on rent. It was gone. I provided everything to OSHA. Everything. And no charges. I even contacted the manufacturer. Actually, I was fired the next day for supposed safety violations. This is after all that, what I've been through. You know, I mean, I had a great work history. I contacted the manufacturer 14 times. 13 times I timelined it. The 14th time would have been one in his office, in which the manufacturer had everybody's name, dates, times, everything. They all said